So what we have is a lawlessness that has been set through our entire government. And this is a threat to democracy.
Elizabeth Warren, absolutely furious, firing off threatening letters to incoming SEC Chair Paul Atkins, demanding answers. But what's really interesting, her anger isn't just towards crypto or the current administration. A lot of it seems to be directed specifically at Ripple and XRP. We're going to delve into why that may be. We're going to look at what she said in her letter to the incoming chair and what problems could she actually cause us at this point in time. Now, before we get into that, not looking good out there. We see Bitcoin down about 2%, Ethereum down about 2%, XRP down about 5%, and it's pretty red in the crypto space, but it goes much beyond that. We see President Trump saying that reciprocal tariffs will be imposed on all countries, so this doesn't sound like it's cooling off as we approach April 2nd. Also, some talk about Iran. If they can't do a deal, some bad things will happen. Markets won't like that. We see right now the NASDAQ 100 futures fall nearly 200 points at the open for markets to prepare for reciprocal tariffs. So everyone's, uneasy about all this. Japanese stock market opened down 3.5% to begin trading here in the morning. Not great. Not great at all. We see tech stocks in overnight trading. Tesla down 5%, Robinhood down 5%, Nvidia down 3%, AMD down 3%. You can go on down the list. Everything's getting smacked here. Magnificent Seven stocks have erased $250 billion in overnight trading session so far. We'll see how the market opens. Look, I wish I could tell you how this all ends up, how long this will go on for, but I'm not a trading genius. I'm not a geopolitical expert. I don't know how to, do trade deals, things like that. All I know is that someday this will end, and we have the perfect setup for cryptocurrencies. That's all we can control. Do we have the right assets? And is this space ready to rock and roll? And from that, it's just a waiting game to see things develop. I don't know any other way to play it. If we're presented with better and lower prices, just keep buying. That's all I know how to do. Now, Elizabeth Warren, again, she's furious specifically with crypto czar David Sachs over Ripple and XRP. She just sent a scathing letter to Trump's crypto czar, and she is accusing him of having conflicts of interest regarding XRP, Solana, ADA, BTC, and Ethereum. And this is interesting because if you know, David Sachs divested all of his crypto holdings, all the crypto companies he was invested in. So what's the conflict of interest here? Sachs' firm, Craft Ventures, invested in BITWISE, which holds all 5 of these tokens. Also BITWISE, very bullish on XRP. I did a report on that last night. Link down below. You'll see it pop up here at the end of the video. But Warren questions if insiders sold into the pump after Trump's post, and she wants to know specifically. She wants names of anyone that knew about the XRP announcement ahead of time. So she's just digging in here, scathing, angry. But what can she really do? Because this is why we need to strike while the iron is hot. We need laws to be codified because otherwise you don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. And if somehow this wacko gets control again, you know the first place she's going after. She's going after cryptocurrencies and probably specifically Ripple and XRP. Now, if we get it into law, it's all over Red Rover, just, full steam ahead. But that's why this is so important because we can operate over this next 4 years with impunity, essentially. But you want to make that permanent. You want to make it impossible to attack this space. Now, why is she so furious specifically to Ripple? Well, Ripple versus SEC ruling wasn't just a win for XRP. It was a direct threat to everything she was trying to do when going against cryptocurrencies. When the judge ruled XRP is not a security, when it's sold on the open exchange, this was a huge blow to the SEC strategy, which was just her strategy, of course. She was the one that was attacking crypto. She was writing the questions for Gary Gensler and his answers. Like, this was all her crypto war. And so, really, this opened the floodgates for other tokens to say, if XRP is not a security, neither are we. And it made it almost impossible for them, even when they were empowered to execute their vision. From that point, they were just a speed bump. They could only get in our way. Unless they pass laws, which they don't get the chance to do this time around, they weren't going to be able to slow us down at all. Now she's lost her SEC puppet, and any chance of stopping sensible regulations, there's really nothing she can do but complain, have a sour look on her face, shake her fist. That's about it. But it's still visible. She's shaken. She's angry. And she can just yell at the sky. There's not a whole lot left she can do. She coined the term building an anti-crypto army during her 2024 Senate reelection campaign. So this, of course, is very important to her. And likely because her donors are banks and institutions and people like this that are anti-crypto, that don't want to improve this space. So when the federal courts ruled that crypto sold to retail investors is not subject to SEC oversight, it just blew a hole in everything she wanted to do. And this is the important part to remember. Warren's war isn't just with Ripple. She was going after DeFi, privacy coins, Bitcoin mining, NFT marketplaces, cross-border stablecoins. She was going after the whole crypto space. That's the important thing. That was what was on the line here on the crypto, trial of the century. And even though we have now a crypto-friendly regime that's going to pass friendly laws, it just makes it so much easier to sell to the public when we can say, look, a judge looked at this. These are not securities transactions. This is the way this should be treated. That was a game changer, that Ripple victory, that dominating victory. And it was a game changer for the whole space. Everything from DeFi down to Bitcoin mining, it doesn't matter. That was for all the marbles, and they pulled out the win there. Huge. Estimated that 1 in 4 S&P 500 firms will hold Bitcoin by 2030. I think it'll be not just Bitcoin either. I think it'll be a broader basket of cryptocurrencies. Growing number of S&P 500 treasury managers are under pressure, not from regulators this time around, but from FOMO. We need to start protecting ourselves. And I like that approach. I don't like what Michael Saylor is doing. So I don't think you should borrow money. I don't think you should issue shares to buy Bitcoin as a S&P 500 company. I think, if you have a significant treasury and you want to put a portion of it, even a small portion, into crypto assets to protect against inflation, things like that, I think it makes a lot of sense. That's going to be the future, not the stuff that Michael Saylor's doing. This is the reasons why it might happen. Again, Bitcoin and really crypto, the changes to GAAP, recognizing as a tangible asset. It's easier to store, move, and sell than gold. So if treasuries want to hold gold, crypto's a lot more efficient. And spot Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, and soon, the broader crypto market in ETF form are going to be out there. So there's no need for a workaround. There's no problem holding these assets. It's seamless. It's easy. It's low cost. It's going to happen. And so this move isn't really about replacing the dollar. It's about protecting balance sheets in the new era, the digital era, and it's going down. It's going to be a big one here. We see this. Welcome to our world, Ethereum investors. If you invested $10,000 in Ethereum exactly 3 years ago, you have $5,374 today and dropping. Not too bad. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link. And let me make this clear. I have Ethereum myself, not happy with that.